Good evening, everybody. This is Santero Balogum coming with another video. I wanted to do a video this evening on Cauldron Magick. So I have permission from one of my clients to show the working that I'm doing for the client, to explain and to give illustration again on Cauldron Magick, one of my favorite implements. So here we're starting out with a clean cauldron. As I always specify, when you're doing workings or working between each different working, you want to use a little Florida water, you want to use a little holy water, or if you have a certain mixture that you prepare to clean your cauldron, this would be the great time to do that. Let it dry, take a paper towel, and just allow it to dry out so that you can prepare for the working. And then here, I wanted to show, remember I did a hoodoo money powder video. I'll give a reference to that in the description. Some mint leaves, yerba buena, a mixture of good luck powder that I've made, a key, my candle, some sun oil. I have ginger root, ginseng root, and High John the Conqueror root. And yes, you are seeing a light bulb, and I'll give an explanation for that in a bit. But I just wanted to show all of the things that I will be putting into this working. Everything except for the client's petition, the actual request from Spirit where the client has given me. So basically, again, all of the things on the table ready for the working at one time, getting ready to prepare for our Cauldron Magick. So I'm starting out with actually taking some of the sun oil that I have, and I am going to be lining that first in the cauldron, placing that so that is my base. Just like when we cook, we put a little oil in the skillet. I'm going to start out with my sun oil. I'm rubbing it around as I'm working with the oil and I'm touching the cauldron. I'm already starting to add the petition. And here I'm going to start out with the ginger root. And I'm going to rub the ginger root all around the cauldron, the bottom of the cauldron, incorporating the sun oil and incorporating the ginger root together to add a base for this, because the cauldron is a place that's the womb. It's a birthplace of our magic. And as a result, we can just go ahead and just incorporate the vibrations of the oil that had the herbs in them, and then the ginger root. Now I'm adding in the High John the Conqueror root. I'm breaking it into pieces as best I can, because if you know anything about the High John the Conqueror root, it's a very durable, tough root. I'm also incorporating the ginseng. And you may ask why I'm using ginseng. Ginseng is a root that is a stimulator. It is a root that adds vitality. And so as a result, the High John the Conqueror root is for strength and those areas where you need a little more. And then the ginseng is doing just that also. Now I'm putting in my yerba buena, my peppermint leaves, and if you know anything about yerba buena, peppermint is a good vibration herb. And since we're working for this client to add success, we've already put the sun oil. We've already added the ginseng. And now I'm mixing everything up. I'm using my hands, but I'm also using the roots. And see, I want to bruise those leaves to give off the flavor and the essence in the cauldron. So all of this energy is in the cauldron. All of the roots are bruising. Now I'm just placing them around the cauldron so that that essence, so that that energy has already, just like when you're cooking, you're adding your seasoning, you're adding your oil, you're building layers. I'm doing the same thing in the cauldron so that I'll be able to build the energy that's needed for this client's request. Now here is my good luck powder that I made, my hoodoo good luck powder. And so now I'm adding this and incorporating this, again, building more flavors, building more energy, building another layer on top of the oil, on top of the roots, on top of the yerba buena. And then here is my magic hoodoo money powder to draw money, because this client's request is for good luck and success. And so we all need success in business, success to get more money. And so this is what this client is asked for and what they will be receiving. So I'm now placing the petition, the request of the client, into the cauldron so that I'm able to now take what was built and incorporate it. And you see I'm moving the paper around on top of the oil, on top of the leaves, and then I'm taking the peppermint, the yerba buena, and the hydroconca root, the ginseng root, the ginger, and I'm placing it on top of the petition so that I can add more power on top of what the client needs. And then I'm going to incorporate more sun oil so that that oil, that essence of the sun, think about the sun being something that shines down on us, but it's also something that shines its rays on things to illuminate. And so this client is looking for good luck. This client is looking for success, and that's what we want to do. Now I am cutting the candle. I'm carving the top part so that I can go ahead and incorporate some herbs, incorporate some of the oil, so that this client will have what they need for success in business, success in their life, and good luck. I'm going to take a little bit more of my good luck powder and add to the candle. Mixing it around, making sure all of the places that I cut the wax, that I put little holes in the wax, can get incorporated. And I'm going to take a bit more of my sun oil to add to it so that the energy from the oil, because the oil is a carrier for the actual essence of the herbs that I have, and I'm going to mix that with the candle so that it's incorporated, and as the candle burns, the energy is infused into the atmosphere with this client, for this client, in their everyday lives, around them in business, in their business situations. And I'm just touching it, making sure that my energy, because I'm the practitioner, is in it. And now I'm going to just sit still for a moment, infuse my magic, infuse my energy, my ache into this situation, so that I'm asking my deities, I'm asking the orishas that walk with me, the appropriate orishas for this situation, to aid my client, to allow my client to have what it is that they need so that their situation will be better. And since magic is something that we do by faith, I'm adding a key. The key is to unlock the areas. Now I'm adding the light bulb. The light bulb is to illuminate to the client the right ideas, to illuminate to business partners that this is the right person, to illuminate and unlock the areas where this client should have success, where they should have good luck. And then here, everything has been done. I put the candle on top of the petition so that that can burn. And as it burns, the energy of the fire is illuminating into the atmosphere and allowing the client's petition to go out and reach the areas where they need. Here is a jar that I put on the table. And the reason I have this is because if you need to work on something new, you can take this petition with the herbs, the oils, and everything, put them in the jar so that you can hold them and then use the cauldron for a different purpose.